Mr. President, Mr. President, why not go further than just unsealing this?
Mr. President, did you send that letter? Release the full file.
Wow, he did not want to answer those questions. Donald Trump just rushed out of the room where he was holding a press event regarding a crypto bill that he was signing into law. He rushed out as he was getting asked questions about his cover-up over the Epstein files and the Epstein list. I want you to watch that moment. Let's play it.
Mr. President, Mr. President, why not go further than just unsealing this?
Mr. President, did you send that letter? Release the full file.
Now, right before Donald Trump rushed out of the room like that, you can't make this up, the official White House account posted, walking into the weekend knowing you were never a panicking. We literally just watched him panic and refuse to answer questions regarding his massive cover-up of his past with Jeffrey Epstein. So I'm going to trust my own eyes and ears and observations. Then Donald Trump, during this press event about crypto legislation, starts talking about his discussions with the leaders of Toyota and Honda, and he calls them Mr. Toyota and Mr. Honda, and then he tries to imitate a Japanese accent. Here, play this clip.
But he spoke totally fluent Japanese. I said, that's very impressive. And he was introducing me to Mr. Honda. I said, oh, are you in the car business? He goes, yes. I said, you're a very rich man. And then he said, Mr. Toyota, right? Toyota. And I said, what business are you in? Let me guess. He said, cars. He was my interpreter. And I was so impressed. And I was getting ready to leave. He said, sir, I'd like to run for the United States Senate. I said, where are you from? He said, Tennessee. I said, well, I love Tennessee, but do they know you there? No, but if you endorse me, I'll win, right?
And then when Donald Trump signs this bill into law, he does this thing that he does each time now. He's like, at least I'm not using an auto pen. That's the real scandal everyone should focus on. That's what he just did moments ago before rushing out of the room. Play this clip.
This is not an auto pen, by the way. Which is a big scandal. If that were a Republican, it would really be a big scandal. But it is one of the great scandals of our time.
Now, he's been trying to make that a thing every day this week. Just the other day, he did the same thing when he was signing legislation about fentanyl, stopping fentanyl coming into the country. He just said, it's not an auto pen. It's not an auto pen. Here, play this clip.
And this is not an auto pen, right? That's for sure. That's great. Thank you very much.
He goes, that's the real scandal. What are you talking about? All former presidents and you currently use auto pens to sign things. And no, the big scandal is you're covering up for a sex trafficking ring where some of the conduct took place at Mar-a-Lago where underage girls were used as towel girls and then sex trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein. And you said Epstein is a great guy who likes women on the younger side. Anyway, as part of this event, Donald Trump then said, if you have a smart president, you will never see the dollar slide. You know, smart presidents. And he tries to blame former President Biden. Here, play this clip.
They didn't want to be tariffed, did they, Howard? Huh? So it's amazing. No, we're not going to let the dollar slide. If we have a smart president, you're never going to let the dollar slide. If you have a dummy, that could happen. Like the last one, he would, if you ever asked him about the dollar sliding, he would have no idea. But we can't let that ever happen again.
As Ian Bremmer previously pointed out, and as the objective data shows, the United States dollar has weakened by more than 10% over the past 6 months compared to top trading partners. It's the worst start of the year since 1973 after shifting the dollar away from the price of gold. You take a look at that chart right there. The dollar is basically tanking right now as more and more countries are seeing the United States less as a safe place and seeing the dollar less as the world reserve currency. But I mean, Donald Trump lies about everything. The dollar's strong. No, it isn't. And then here Donald Trump says that, he threatened all of the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and then there's a lot of other countries that have joined that economic partnership or alliance. He goes, I threatened the BRICS with tariffs and nobody showed up to the meetings. Newsflash, everybody showed up to the meeting. We have photographs. It was in Rio de Janeiro. It was a very successful BRICS meeting. It was actually far more successful than the G7 that you ran away from like a coward. Here, play this clip of Donald Trump saying that.
A framework for issuing crypto assets backed one for one with real U.S. dollars, treasury bills, and other cash equivalents is really strengthening the dollar and giving the dollar great prominence. And, you know, you have this little group called BRICS. It's fading out fast. But BRICS is, they wanted to try and take over the dollar, the dominance of the dollar and the standard of the dollar. And I said, anybody that's in the BRICS consortium of nations, we're going to tariff you 10%. And they had a meeting the following day, and almost nobody showed up. They said, "Leave me alone. We didn't want to. They didn't want to be tariffed, did they, Howard?" So it's amazing.
And look, we have the photo. The original BRICS group gathered leaders from Brazil, Russia, India, and China. This is Brazil 2025. In Rio de Janeiro. The bloc later added South Africa, and last year included Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates as members. All those nations showed up. They all participated. Oh, and by the way, you had on the sidelines of BRICS, so not at like the core meeting, Mexico, which is not a member of BRICS, they sent their foreign minister and foreign secretary who met with Russians counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, also met with China's counterpart, and countries like Mexico are now being drawn closer into BRICS because it's being viewed as more stable than the way Trump runs things. Then Donald Trump says that the Genius Act is what they're calling the cryptocurrency bill. He goes, "It's named after me, the genius." Play this clip.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we worked hard. It's a very important act, the Genius Act. They named it after me, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you. This is a hell of an act.
Makes everything about himself, and everything is a lie. No one showed up at the BRICS. Yeah, every country. It was a successful meeting at the BRICS, unfortunately, but it was. The dollar's never been stronger. No, the dollar's as weak as it's been since 1973. The dollar is tanking. We've defeated inflation. No, you haven't. I am not panicking. I'm walking into the weekend strong. I showed a video of you literally panicking and rushing out of the room. Then Donald Trump continues to talk about how he got rid of all of the people from insane asylums. He thinks that political asylum is insane asylums. Here, play this clip.
Hundreds of thousands and millions pouring in from all over the world. They came from all over the world. They came from prisons, jails. They came from mental institutions, gang members. There were gangs. They came from all over the place, from every country. They came from the Congo and Africa, a lot from the Congo.
He then talks about this is one of the stories he tells. He goes, "I go to Qatar and UAE and Saudi Arabia, and they say how hot we are." By the way, if you just saw what I talked about, the UAE went to the BRICS meeting. But yes, they said how hot we are. They say that to you, and then they go and they do deals with the BRICS. Here, play this clip.
So under the Trump administration, I mean, I just got back from Saudi Arabia. And we went to Qatar. We went to a number of countries. And I will tell you, the level of respect that this country has now is incredible. The UAE, I tell you what, we had a time there. But every leader said the same thing. They said, 1 year ago, your country was dead. And they'd say it that way. It was like, you know, I didn't know whether I was supposed to be happy or insulted, but the truth is we were in deep trouble. But they said 1 year ago your country was dead, and today you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. And it's true. We have the hottest country in the world. We had a country, we were a laughing stock with the borders, people pouring in.
And here he goes again, claiming that that the BRICS is done. He's defeated the BRICS. It's just so stupid because it's not true. Like nothing that he's saying every word is a lie. And it hurts us as a country because it's not tethered to reality. It's a loser fantasy world. Here, play the clip.
The reserve currency is so important. You know, if we lost that would be like losing a world war. We can never let anyone play games with us. And that's why when I heard about this group from BRICS, 6 countries basically, I hit them very, very hard. And if they ever really form in a meaningful way, it will end very quickly. I will tell you, for them, they won't be gone very long. I don't think they'll even do it. They're virtually afraid to meet. I also remain fully committed to my pledge.
And then finally, he's like, "In MAGA Mike Johnson, you've been working at a fervent pace. Your wife probably thinks you're crazy." No, we all think that y'all are a bunch of traitors who have just sold out the United States. Yes, to the oligarchs and billionaires here, but everyone's about to get screwed by what y'all have done. I mean, you've destroyed the country. We have to rebuild this crap because of what you did. Anyway, play this clip.
He'd come through, right, JD? Also, Speaker Mike Johnson. He's unbelievable. He's an unbelievable. I mean, if you go by what we're doing, if you keep at this pace, you can't keep it up for another 200 days. But I will tell you this, if you keep up this pace for another week, you go down as the greatest speaker in the House in history. So one more week. One more week. Who needs Tip O'Neill? Who needs Tip O'Neill? He's better looking than Tip O'Neill, too. But no, he's been going at a fervent pace. Would you say that's right? Your wife probably says, "You are crazy." You've been aging beautifully at front. He's an amazing speaker, a great leader, and everybody likes him and respects him.
Well, there it is. I'll show you him rushing out one more time. Let's play it.
Mr. President, why not go further than just unsealing the...
Mr. President, did you send that letter? Release the full file.
But I'm sure, Donald, you're not panicking. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. Thanks for watching.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.